I'm Dr. M. Kamakshay, open source software evangelist and also a full stack web developer. In my previous video, I've shown you how to install PostgreSQL and also get familiar with PostgreSQL environment. So I've shown you how to open PSQL, which is the shell. We need kind of command prompt. There are many names, like you can call CLI, terminal, or whatever it is. So we call PSQL shell, which available for writing the programs. In this video, I'm just going to show you how to create the tables and then insert the values. Maybe I can explain kind of CRUD operations. CRUD stand for create, retrieve, update, delete. So this is very popular kind of operations in app development, maybe for GUI or web, especially in web development. CRUD operations, most of the activities that happens across most of the user level activities can be performed by using the CRUD. So this CRUD is highly popular for sending the data to existing database and retrieving the information from the database, or updating the information in the existing database, or deleting the entire table. So in this video, I'm going to perform the CRUD operations using PSQL shell. So in my previous video, I've shown you how to open soon after you install PostgreSQL. After installation, PostgreSQL is going to bring few tools, utility software applications. One of the utility application is shell. It is called PSQL. It is SQL shell. SQL means structured query language. So let me not talk much about that. Apart from this, there is also PS admin, I guess. I don't know. PG admin. Yeah, PG admin 4. This is important to do things using graphic user interface. We can also create the tables, create the databases, create the tables, populate those tables with the help of values. So we can do everything and anything, whatever that we can do using database management systems, using graphic user interface. And PostgreSQL has both command line activity and graphic user. It provides CLI as well as graphic user interface for user activities. So that is simple. Now I'm just going to open my. I'm sorry, I think I opened PG admin. It's not what I would like to open the PSQL. So once we, it's take some time. PSQL. Yeah, this is actually, as I said in my previous video, this is just Windows CMD with I don't know. PostgreSQL is perhaps it uses the base Windows CMD. So CMD is the CLI or terminal in Windows. Now, so as usual, when you open the shell, it asks a couple of questions, and we need to set up the server with appropriate information. And by the way, PSQL shell also requires a default database. It's not default database. We have default databases when there are a couple of databases available after installing PostgreSQL. We can use any database, but I'm going to open a PSQL instance right now in this session by using a default database called Postgres. So it is asking me, do you like to use the localhost as server? Yes. And do you like to use Postgres? This is actually the default database available. I didn't create this. It is just available after installation. And now port number 5, yes. This is the default port. And the username Postgres, yes. And then I need to give the password. I think I remember I said PostgreSQL. Yeah, that is a bit not simple. I would recommend you can just go. You can use a very simple password, just like the Postgres, instead of using Postgres. Whatever it is. So we need to give all these details to open the shell, and this is actually this. If you have this thing, it means I am the administrator right now in the shell. Now, as I said in this video, I'm going to show you how to. So before going to the creating the tables, I want to see what is the present working directory. For that, what I need to do is / and apostrophe. That will let me know this is actually the present working directory. I am inside the home directory of Postgres, but I don't want this as a present working directory because it's not safe to create the user data. It's not safe to use this directory for user level activity. It is always better to go for because C is always a Windows home. Windows use C partition or C drive for software. It is a home, which means all whenever we install the software applications, those applications by default goes to C drive. It's better not to touch the C drive because Windows always use C as home. I have another partition D in my computer, so it is always I always use D for my personal activity, personal official program. So user activity. For all user activity, I use another partition. So it's always better to take because one important thing is, by any case, if you lose data inside, say, at times we may format the partitions, or we may go for the fresh installation. So whenever we do these kind of activities, the data inside C is most of the time get deleted. So it's not always. So here, to come back to the prompt, we can use exit. Okay, we'll just come back. Now what happens is that Postgres has got a beautiful set of inbuilt functions that enable the user to interact with the base operating system. So those I think commands can be accessed with the help of the same / and apostrophe. And then if I use dir, you see dir is a Windows base command. It's a native command which lists. It's just like ls in Linux. It lists out all the ingredients inside a given directory. Now the same thing I can also use maybe I don't know so there is one particular function command in Windows which is cd. So to change the directories, so I'm going to change the directories in the computer, not by using SQL shell, psql. Okay, for that there is a command called / cd. So if I write like this, I want to go to the D partition. Now if the psql is silent, which means it has done something. Now same command, I go for dir. You see I'm in different partition. So these are the ingredients of my earlier partition, and these are the file system or the drive, and these are the ingredients of the present drive. And here it will show you the directory of D. Earlier it was C. So this way we can navigate to and fro in between the folders inside the operating system. And say I want to go to a particular folder called work. So now I'll do the same thing, cd work. Okay, and now same command inside cd work. I have another folder, RDBMS. So that's just a kind of you don't need to be cd RDBMS. So why I want to come here, because I have some certain scripts inside this folder. So let me show you. These are the scripts. You see all the scripts. By the way, there are two ways to work with PostgreSQL in psql shell. We can create the tables. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create the tables and populate those tables with the help of some values. There are two ways to do that activity. I can do that activity inside the shell here. I can also create a script and write the statements in that script, and I can end up once I finish writing all these statements, I can execute the script and achieve the user can achieve the goals by executing those scripts. And those scripts need to be need to be saved as in .sql format. So any file which has this format, .sql format, is executable inside PSQL shell. Okay, how are we going to do that? I'm just going to open, so instead of going to the, I can do one thing. Inside the PostgreSQL, if I use this command, there are different, by the way, how do I know these commands? There are beautiful help functions. So what are they? / and then if I press H, now these are all the commands that are related to SQL. In RDBMS, there are different types of languages. There is a language for definition, data definitions. There is a language for data manipulation, and there is also a language for queries. The language which is used for the queries is called structured query language, SQL, and the language which is used for manipulation is called DML, data manipulation language. And language which is used for the definitions is called DDL, data definition language. So RDBMS or DBMS, whatever it is actually, it has a set of languages. I mean, it comprises of few languages. It is a bundle of few languages, and these languages are used. Suppose if one of the popular commands, select, is actually a structured query language, and one of the popular commands, we use DDL, data definition language, to create the tables and to create the databases, and to populate them with information. We use structured query languages, data manipulation, I think DML. So I'm not sure about which language is used for which particular terms, but structured query language is not the only language which is available from the RDBMS systems. So to come back to this help, you have this more here. You just have to press Ctrl C, and then you'll just come back to the prompt. Okay. There is another way to this. These are actually structured query. I mean, this is how you can get across some of the commands available for the structure. So structured query language. There are other set of commands available for the user level activities. I mean, managing the database resources. See, at times what happens, I have to communicate to my base operating system. At times I have to execute a file. At times I have to create a file. There are so many other activities apart from this DDL, DML, SQL. These are called utility functions. Okay, every database management system will be having some certain, for that matter, every application, every programming language will be having a kind of the different types of commands. There are always few commands which are helpful to deal with other than what is the language meant for. So here I'm using RDBMS, PostgreSQL. It is actually ORDBMS, not RDBMS, Object Relational Database Management Systems. It is RDBMS plus. PostgreSQL is always RDBMS plus something. So here there are some set of functions which are useful other than these three activities. For them, if I use / and question mark, you see these are all shell level commands. So there are quite a few commands. All these commands are organized in terms of the categories. There is a category called general, and here there are kind of you see the quit / q quits the PSQL. This is actually a general command. In the same fashion, I use this. You see here / and then question mark. This falls under a category called help. So whenever we use this, we'll be trying to access the help mechanisms, inbuilt help mechanisms inside the PSQL. And query buffer, input output, so many things. These commands has nothing to do with DDL, DML, SQL. Okay, these are all some utility commands. You can keep pressing. There are so many commands. I never counted. There are so many commands. These commands are highly useful. Okay, we came back here. I am going to clear my console by using Windows native command CLS. And now there is a particular command called /e. So what is this? I don't know exactly what does it mean. I assume it is edit. So whenever you execute, we execute this command, inbuilt command, it is just going to fetch a default text application inside the computer. So I'm just going to, how do I know that? No, maybe I can use this / question mark and then / I don't know. I think it is not coming. Okay, / apostrophe CLS. It is started coming here. Okay, / apostrophe CLS and then / question mark. Maybe I can see E. Is it possible? No, it's not coming. Where is the help? Show help on / commands, which is not showing. So okay, fine. CLS. Hello. Oh. I think there's something wrong there. Over there. / apostrophe CLS. Yeah. So whenever we use this command /e, it simply brings up. I pressed it. I executed this command. Then there is psql opens a default text editor inside your operating system, and with a default name. See, actually I didn't create this file at all. It brought me a file with a kind of name, psql.edit. Here you'll see the left upper side corner, you'll see psql.edit.123, something like that. Don't worry about this. So now here, whatever I can, this is just like, this acts like an editor. So every programming language will be having an editor. Like Python has got IDLE, Java has got Eclipse, and R has got RStudio. Like every programming language will be these editors. We need these editors to cut, paste, copy kind of activities. So for PSQL, the editor is the default text application inside the operating system. Okay, so this is command line, and this is the editor. Now here I can do anything. So I'm just going to execute a particular command by using, in every RDBMS software we have this select, right? Select. This is actually structured query language. Select. What I do is first I'll try to do this here. Okay, let me close this. Don't say it. Now I'm just going to execute a query, and the query is like this. Select. I think there is a particular function called version. This is the inbuilt function once again. This is actually, this particular statement is going to retrieve the version information of PostgreSQL. I installed PostgreSQL 13.1, and the same information is retrieved by this command. There is another command. I just want to, okay, let me open the editor right now at this point in time. When I open the editor, you see that command is there inside the editor. So actually I didn't write this inside the editor. I mean, this is not editor actually, it is a text application, notepad, application known as notepad in Windows. This command is there here, right? Now what I do, I'll just change this command only to show you that it is possible to execute these commands written inside the notepad application or text application, whatever it is. Here it is notepad. In your computer, if you are in Linux, it may be gedit or nano or whatever it is, like, There is another command called current date. Okay, so let me save this. We need to save that. And this command is going to be executed soon after I close this file. See here. See, when I close the file, it was executed, and the statement was being executed by the shell, and the output was created in the shell. I mean, returned back to the user reference. And now this is how we are going to write the. So we are going to work with PSQL. So either we can go here, okay, select something. We can just write the commands in the shell, or we can open. It is always a good practice to open the editor. In this case, it is Notepad, and write the command so that we'll be having it for the future reference. In this way, I've done. I have few files in my computer. I mean, I already created. I mean, I have a couple of files. I think in the work. RDBMS. These are all actually some of the scripts. These are all SQL scripts. We need to save these files, and I'll show you how to save a file once we open. When you open the editor, okay. Now go to File, Save As. Now when you go to your file system, go to a consistent directory where you think and change the name so that you can remember the name easily. Maybe test code kind of. And here, please be cautious. You need to save this file as .sql with the .sql extension. Otherwise, it is not an executable. PSQL is not going to identify the file as executable script if it is saved as text application or any other. So what you need to do is go to all files. You need to change the option here. If you choose txt, it is going to be saved as txt. You have to go to all files and see that the extension should be .sql. Then it is a structured query language, a file in which, I mean, PSQL assumes that this is a file in which there are statements related to structured query language, something like that. So you can save that, and then now onwards you don't need to close this. You can just go to the editor, and right now I'm going to close this. I came back to the editor. Now what I do, I have the facility to go back to the computer and open that with text editor. You see, same file. Now I can use both of this. I can use the command line and also the editor simultaneously. So this is actually the advantage of using, saving that file in the file system and then opening that so that we can just every time you cannot execute this. If you close this, nothing is going to happen in the shell, and if you write something, nothing is going to happen in the. So you can write whatever it is. So once after writing this, suppose imagine that we have. Now I'm going to change this only to show you that I'm just trying to manipulate the commands inside the text. There is a particular command called current database. I think I should be having a command just like this. Now you see, I just left. I'll do one thing. I don't know how to. Okay, let me. I will just keep both of the files here. So the left side I have. Okay, I'll just get them intact. So this way what happens, I can show you both. So now here left side, right side we have the editor, left side we have the command. So I can switch so conveniently. Now if let me show, this is actually PSQL. You see here the name is PSQL-test.sql. Now if I use the dir, see I have that file here, right? Now what I need to do is, there is a command called \i, which means, it is called input. I assume that I stands for input, and it will be, if whenever I use this this command \i, it will be searching for a file. So now the immediate argument after this command is going to be PSQL. By the way, your tab button don't work here. Auto IntelliSense or auto completion will never work in PSQL. I don't know. There may be a kind of shortcut for that, but PSQL test.sql. Okay, I do a lot of spelling mistakes. You see, select current database, CORRE and the current as I think it should be. I don't know. There is a typo in my here. Yeah, see now. Now let me change this into the other current date. This is actually not a function, this is a field kind of. Now come here, thank you. Now when you see, now there is a current date. Now with the same kind of so this way we can just PSQL is really a beautiful RDBMS software application which is widely used for web development, especially in Python community. This is I mean, why I choose PostgreSQL is that this is something like RDBMS plus. So it is possible to use the object-oriented programming conventions as well as relational database management conventions. Both of them can be combined together and that is being offered by the PostgreSQL for the user community. Okay, this is for this video. Maybe in my next video I maybe probably talk to you about how to create the tables and manipulate the data inside the tables. Okay, thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for the new content, and please subscribe to my video channel.